Hey VC, it's Jonathan, your cheap and cheerful record collector. I hope everybody's doing well this record store day. I went out early. Our local store we go to, Bull Moose Music, opened at 8 o'clock. I got there around 7:30. They were taking names so people could wait in their car and not have to stay outside and wait in line. Plus it started to rain, so that was a little better to do that. I was there at 7:30, half hour before opening, and I was number 20 online. And right behind me at 21 was Brian from Shamrock and Records. They were letting 5 people in at a time, and once you got in, they allowed you 2 minutes to grab what you wanted and get out. So you had to know what you want pretty much before you got there. They had everything in alphabetical order, so it was fairly easy to find what you were looking for if you knew what you wanted. No time to sort of browse and go, oh, that looks like I'll grab that. No, you have to know what you want, get it, and get going. So I had my list. I had 3 records I wanted, and lucky enough, I was able to get all 3. First one I found, which I really wanted, was Ron Carter. He's a jazz bass player. This was recorded in 2018 in Switzerland and pressed in Germany on 180 gram audiophile, fantastic sounding, and a great live recording. Ron Carter, I think, has said he holds the record for the most recordings by anybody. He's been on over 2,000 different recording and albums throughout his career. He's 82 years old now, and he sounds great. It's a, glare. It's signed by him, and it's numbered. There's only 1,999 copies, and I got copy 1,959. So right near the end of it. Great 2 LP set, beautiful recording, live jazz concert. Fantastic, really great. I'm really happy with this one. Next one is my all-time favorite jazz artist. So I wasn't sure if they were going to have it, but I was lucky enough to find one, and it's Thelonious Monk. This is recording from 1963. He recorded this in Belgium. It was a live recording with Charlie Rouse on sax, John Orr on bass, and Frankie Dunlap on drums. Monk had just recorded 2 albums for Columbia at this time, so he was basically touring Europe promoting his new albums. So a lot of the songs on here, there are only 6 songs. Monk's Dream, Crisscross, and Apostrophe are on the albums that he just recorded for Columbia, and he ends up doing Just a Gigolo on here, which is great. Again, beautiful recording, especially 1963, just recorded live, just sounds fantastic. Really happy with this. They also have a full-length poster, huge poster with this picture on it, which was advertising the show. So really great, happy with this, really happy, beautiful. The third run I got at Record Store Day, another jazz album, Charlie Parker, Jazz at Midnight. This is happens to be Charlie Parker's 100th anniversary today of his birth. Of course, he died when he was 35 years old, but he would have been 100 years old today. This one was recorded in 1952 and 53 in Washington, D.C. Not great. I mean, the music's great, of course, but the recording, not so great. The mix is really terrible, I think, especially side 1. He's so front and center, and the rest of the band, you can barely hear it all. Side 2 is definitely much better. Better recording for side 2, better balance. The music's great, so I'm glad to have it, but not nearly as good as the first 2 records I showed, quality-wise. But there you go. That's all I got for Record Store Day. I've got a lot of other stuff to show, so a lot of Goodwill finds, a lot of other stuff. About a week or so ago, I was up at Barnes & Noble near me, and they had a group of records on sale at 50% off. So I was happy to pick this up. This is Ronan Gidden's. She was the singer for the Carolina Chocolate Drops, also plays a mean fiddle. Fantastic record, so beautiful. Just beautiful, beautiful album. On None Such Records. What can I say? It's fantastic. I just love it. This is the give you a lyric sheet, which is so nice to have. It's on None Such Records. Nice label there. Nice little polylined inner sleeve they gave you with it, which is great. It still has that country feel for sure, country bluegrass feel, but a little more sophisticated. And what a fantastic voice she has. I guess she was trained originally as an opera singer, and she really has control of her pipes. She's fantastic. So I love this album. Ronan Gidden. Next one I have is a singer, piano player. Name is Bob Doro. I think he passed away about a couple of years ago. Bob was what they call like a song stylist than a singer. Early in his career, he actually was one of the few people that Miles Davis ever recorded with. I had an earlier album by him, which I absolutely love. So when I saw this and I saw that it was signed, I couldn't let it sit there. By this time, this is like 76. His voice is pretty well shot, but boy, he still played piano beautifully, and it's a really great album. He does Simon Smith and the Dancing Bear by Randy Newman's song. He does Lennon McCartney, Norwegian Wood. Yeah, it's strange, but the piano playing is great. He also, if you're that certain age, he did most of the music for the TV show The Electric Company, the kids show on PBS. So that's Bob Doro. There's an early picture of Bob at the piano. So I'm happy to pick that up and add to my collection. Most of the rest of them are Goodwill finds. I'm a big Goodwill fan. I go about once a week. I have three or four Goodwills within 20 minutes of my house. So Tuesday is Senior Citizen Day. I get 20% off, so I'm there every Tuesday morning checking stuff out. And I found this recently, Don Everly from the Everly Brothers. This is from 1971. Features Ry Cooder, Jim Keltner, and Sneaky Pete on pedal steel. Very rootsy country kind of country rock album. Not exactly what I expected, but still really good. Some good stuff. I listened to it today for the second time, and it's definitely growing on me. I like it today better than I liked it the first time. So Don Everly, one of his solo albums. Also Goodwill. Covers beat, but the record plays really well. Peter Tosh, Bush Doctor. Bush Doctor was the album he put out that had the song You Gotta Walk and Don't Look Back with Mick Jagger. It was a big hit for him for a while there. Actually saw Peter Tosh right around this time in Central Park in New York City. Everybody was expecting Mick Jagger to show up, but he never did. But it was still a great concert, and this is a great album. Peter Tosh, Bush Doctor. Next one I found, I knew of this band. I never really had heard them before, and when I saw it for the price, I saw it for like less than $2. I couldn't let it sit there. And it's Foghat. Foghat were comprised of people from Savoy Brown and some other bands put together. English band, but if you didn't know they were English, you would swear they were from Southern rock. Allman Brothers kind of sound and feel to them. Really good album. Really surprised by how much I liked it. This is called Boogie Motel. And I think this is from 79 maybe. I should have looked it up on Bearsville Records. There's that Bearsville logo. Had the original inner sleeve with it. Probably says here somewhere, but I don't want to waste all the time sitting around looking for the date on it. 79. There you go, 79. So, don't know if you know Foghat, but if you like that Southern rock kind of stuff, Rocky Blues, really good. Enjoyed that a lot. Next two are a band from Vermont. They're a country bluegrass band from New England, and they had two of their albums. And these are the kind of thing I always pick up when I see cheap, because I always like blind buys. I like country bluegrass stuff, and if they're cheap and in good condition, I'll always give it a shot. So this is a band called Pine Island, and this is their album called No Curb Service Anymore. And it's just what you think it's going to be. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. They have fiddle, guitar, dobro, banjo, vocals, a woman singer, and I enjoyed it. They have Mind Your Own Business, Lovesick Blues they do, Django's Banjo for Django Reinhardt, When the Blue Moon Turns Gold Again, so really good. So this one, and they also had their only two, they only put out 2 albums. They had both their albums, and this one is called Live Inside. This is a live album. Also really good, recorded at the Chelsea Hotel Folklore Center in West Brattleboro, Vermont. Not too far from here, a couple hours from where I am. So really happy with these 2 finds. Great, great blind buy. This one, I saw whenever I see any of his albums, I have to have them. And it's Chuck Berry. And this is Chuck Berry, the London Chuck Berry Sessions. I think this was re-released as a Record Store Day a couple of years ago. Nice gatefold. And except for one song, I thought this was a great album. I mean, Let's Boogie, Mean Old World, I Will Not Let You Go, Londonderry Blues, I Love You, Reelin' Rockin', Johnny Be Good. I mean, they're all great. But then they have a 11-minute and 52-second My Ding-a-Ling. And I always thought that song was stupid when it came out. I thought it was juvenile. And I never liked it, and I still don't. But the rest of the album is great. Chuck Berry. Live in London. Here's another band. I don't know if they were from Boston or Chicago, but they came out in the 60s and 70s when Paul Butterfield band was happening, and there were a lot of white blues bands. And this is a band called Siegel Schwall, the Siegel Schwall Band. It had Corky Siegel plays piano, harp, and vocals, and Jim Schwall plays guitar and vocals. Also have bass and drums. I have a couple of their other albums, and I was real happy with this. It is great folk blues. Not as rocking as you think, but much more folky blues. But really good. Recorded live in Chicago. Doesn't mean they're from Chicago, but it was recorded live in Chicago. This is 1979. Siegel Schwall. Next one, not in great condition, but I've been looking for it for a while, so I was really happy to see it. It's a real pop psych classic, and it's a Blues Magoos, and this is Electric Comic Book. And before you ask, no, there was no comic book inside. They originally came with a comic book. This one didn't have it. It's an original mono pressing on Mercury. Not in great condition, but still glad to have it in my collection. Next one is a Scottish guy born in Glasgow, Blue-Eyed Soul. It's Frankie Miller. I have one of his other albums which I really like. The album where he has this big tall hat on, which I think is the one everyone's seen. I had never seen this one before. I actually was with Brian at a record store. We were looking at it. He goes, oh, he had it. He said, if you like the first one, you got to get this. And this is great. Great Blue-Eyed Soul, straight out of Scotland. But beautiful album. Frankie Miller. It's called Full House. And this also, I think, was from 79, if I can't. I looked it up, I can't remember now. Yeah, from the 70s. Then about a week ago, no, less than a week ago, a couple of days ago, I saw an ad that the guy had a storage locker where he had some things for sale. So I said, what the hell? I called him up. He says, you have records? He goes, yeah, I got a lot of records. So I said, cool, I'll go check it out. So I go down to the place, and it looks like it was a building that had a bunch of storage lockers in it. And he had basically bought the whole building, opened up all the doors, and dumped all the trash, everything from the locker room into the middle of this big building. And you walk through it, and stuff was piled to the ceiling. I mean, unbelievable trash and garbage everywhere. But in the corner, in the back, he had all the records put. Unfortunately, he had them all lying flat. So I didn't hold much hope for it, but I found about 36 albums, and he charged me $30. So got them for less than $1 each. A lot of them I'm going to resell at my antique mall. I'll clean them up and sell them. These are the ones I'm keeping. Kate Wolfe. I don't know if you know Kate Wolfe, a singer-songwriter from the mid-70s. She died young at like 44 years old. This from 1979. Beautiful voice. Very folky. Great songwriter. If you don't know Kate, I would definitely suggest, if you like that folky, ethereal woman singing, just beautiful. Really great voice. So, Kate Wolfe. Oh, if you hear what's going on in the background, this is a giveaway they gave good at Bull Moose Day. They gave a bag of swag along with the records, and this is what they added to it. This is a Record Store Day CD, and the Marshall Tucker Band, Buju Banton. I don't know any of these other people. John Kane Steppenwolf, of course I know. But everything else, Appalachian Roadshow, Nicole Buss, S.G. Goodman, Fruitation, Ocean Alley, Saint Malibu, The Home Team, Hot Mulligan, no idea. But it was a freebie, so what the heck. I put that on the background just to have some music on. The next album, which I also picked up at the storage unit, I had this record, but I didn't have this copy of it. I had a later pressing, and it's Frank Sinatra. You all know I'm a big Sinatra fan, and this is In the Wee Small Hours. And the reason I picked this up, besides the fact that it's a mono, it is an original gray label, first pressing, in good condition. Cleaned it up. Sounds great. Love this record. One of my favorites by him. And it's like a $35 medium price, discog price on that. So I got to listen to mine and this, see which one's better. I'll keep one and sell the other. Don't need 2 copies. But yeah, In the Wee Small Hours, probably one of the first concept albums ever put out by Frank in the 50s. And it's just one of my favorites. Also, I'm a big fan of, I like that country rock, country folk rock kind of stuff. And one of the early exponents of that, this is before he got into that when he was doing more poppy stuff, but still really enjoyed him, was Ricky Nelson. And this is more songs by Ricky. You got that great 50s shot of Ricky there with the mesmerizing blue eyes. It's on Imperial Records. I guess there was another photo inside here that was ripped out, but pictures of him. He was in a couple of westerns. They have pictures of him in there. The Rio Bravo he was in, and it's on the Imperial label. So, looking to get that cleaned up and give that a spin. Another one I found is going back to jazz. This is a George Shearing trio with Stefan Grappelli. George Shearing was a British piano player, blind piano player, and of course Stefan Grappelli, everybody knows, played with Django Reinhardt. So this is the two of them together with George Shearing's trio. So looking forward to checking that out. Next one's another jazz album I picked up at this storage unit. I had this already. Again, I couldn't let it sit there. And it's Paul Desmond. This is Paul Desmond in strings. Usually when I see any jazz album with strings, I avoid it like the plague. But I've had this one before, and it was pretty decent because they didn't overdo it with the strings. Also, Jim Hall plays guitar in here, and it's an original RCA Victor, Living Stereo. Again, it's like a $20 album. So I'll clean that up, see which one's better. I'll keep mine. I keep the best one and sell the other one at my antique mall where I have my little booth. Next one, again, another blind buy, but for less than $1, I couldn't leave it there. It's Jan Gabarek, and I know Charlie Hayden. Charlie Hayden, the bass player. Jan is a saxophone player. It's called Folk Songs. It's on ECM. The record is in good condition, probably VG+. The cover is fair to less than fair, but it's called Folk Songs, and it is a promo. So I figured, for less than $1, how can I let it sit there? So I got to give this a nice cleaning and give this a listen. I like Charlie Hayden stuff. He's an amazing bass player, so we'll see what that sounds like. I was up at Goodwill a couple of weeks ago and saw this there, and this is the kind of record where I didn't even know it existed, but when I saw it, I had to have it. A guy named is Ozzie Meyer, and Ozzie played with Doug Sahm and the Texas Tornadoes. I thought this music would be more like that, more the Texas Mexican kind of music. It's not. It's more rock, but it's still great. Still really good. Really happy to have it. And I mean, Augie didn't make many albums as a leader of the band by himself, so had to have it. And again, love the cover. And the last one I got was another novelty album, shall we say. And this is called, put out by the Sporting News. And it's the greatest baseball game that was never played. So basically they took dream teams from the National and American Leagues, and I guess they put together what a game would be between these two teams and broadcast it and made the record out of it. So I gotta give this a spin and listen to this. To give you an idea, on the American League, the starters were Phil Rizzuto, Ty Cobb, Ted Williams, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Rod Carew, Yogi Berra, Brooks Robinson, and Whitey Ford pitching. On the National League, you had Pete Rose, Mike Schmidt, Stan Musial, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Roger Hornsberry, Honus Wagner, Roy Campanella, and Sandy Koufax pitching. So, be interesting to see what this sounds like. Turns out it's worth a lot more than I expected. I thought it'd be like $1 or $2. It's worth some money, so it's sort of fun. I'm going to clean this up and give it a spin. Since there's not too much sports going on today, this is my way to have a little sports going on. And that's what I got for you today. Like I said, I hope everybody had a good record store day. If you went out there, you got what you were looking for, and hopefully didn't spend too much money, and found what you wanted, and stayed safe. Okay? Listen, thanks for watching. I really appreciate all the people who spend time watching my channel. I'm not even going to talk about the drama going on in the VC because I don't give a shit. It's all about the music. I don't care what's going on with the other stuff. I don't care. I don't want to hear about it. All right, folks. Hey, until later, take care and peace.